Hey, I'm Aaron with Seattle Piano Company. It's finally cooled down a little bit, but we are still in the middle of our summer sale. So we still are offering 0% financing on all the pianos in here. And right now, we have more pianos in our showroom than we've ever had before. When I first rented this building, I was thinking to myself, how am I going to fill this building up? Now I'm at the point where I need more space because I have too much stuff in here. So this is a really cool time for us. We're excited to have all these pianos to offer. Just like the last 3 weeks, we've gotten a ton of stuff in here. And so all the pianos that we do have in here, we go through, we do a lot of refurbishing and restoration work. So then when we sell them, they're playing, sounding, and looking as new as possible. So all the stuff that we got through here is still sort of in process, but it's still playable for the most part. So in this video, we're just going to do a trip around, look at all the grand pianos that we've just gotten in, and then we'll then kind of turn and do all the upright pianos. So I'll try to run through this as quickly as I can without being too dry about all this. But yeah, let's get started. Yamaha C3, 6'1". This is from 2005. It has a Disklavier player system on it. Modern players do not have the box in front of them for the most part, this player box down here. And what's cool about this one, since it's more of a modern player, we're able to install a wireless MIDI transmitter on this and receiver. We can mount that box on the side of the piano, so when you're playing the piano, or when you're having the piano play itself rather, you're selecting a song from your phone. That sends the info to the box right there, and then the piano plays itself. But we're gonna mount this box over on the flat side over here. So really you just have to kind of lean over, hit power, and then you're good to go. So it's gonna look and play as if it were a brand new Yamaha Disklavier. Right next to it, we have our Yamaha C7. So the Yamaha C7 is a pretty sought after piano for like recording studios and concert halls, universities, that sort of thing. I mean, this is, in every sense of the word, this is like a professional grand piano, performance piano. It's 7'6", semi-concert grand. This one's from 2005. We got it from the original owner. This is one that we're still working on, so we have to do our clean and detail, all of our finish work, internal work, all that stuff. So if you have an interest in this one, let me know. I'll make sure it's in tune and at least playable if you want to come by and check it out. Right next to it, the guy that's behind the camera right now, Sean, I think this is one of his favorite pianos in here right now, and it's one of mine too. So we focus a lot on Japanese and European-made pianos. They are, my favorite to work on for the most part, but there's some American stuff that's really nice too. And so in that whole Yamaha, Kawai, Steinway, sort of like, the big three names, Baldwin used to be sort of in that mix. So Baldwin pianos used to be very sought after, and they used to make really, really nice stuff. This is towards the end of their run when they were producing pianos here in America. This is their SF series. So this is their semi-concert grand. This is a 7-foot piano made here in the US. We got it from the original owner, but we've done quite a bit of work to it. I've refinished a lot of this piano. We went through and we replaced the bass strings, clean and detail the insides, full action regulation, everything that we do. I mean, we've done everything to service the piano and make it look, sound, and play as new as possible. I've had this thing priced at $23,995 for a while now, but I've had it close to a year. It's time for this piano to move. I'm going to sell this piano for $17,000. So this is an amazing deal for someone out there looking for a really nice 7-foot piano. Has a Renner action in it, Renner hammers. This thing's killer. So if you have any questions about this one, there's a lot of information on our website in our grand section about this piano. Lots of photos and specs and all that stuff. We're going to go over these uprights when we kind of make our circle around the showroom. We're just going to do grands right now. We have 5 Yamaha grands that are 6'1" right now. 4 of them are C3s and one of them is a G3. This is the G3 right here. The G3 series Yamahas are nearly identical to the C3 series Yamahas. This is the most popular sold piano in Japan. The only difference between this and the C3, the lid is a little bit different. I've heard that the soundboard material, like it's the same wood, it's just, I heard that the soundboards are a little bit nicer in the C3. That's been kind of debated amongst technicians and stuff, and Yamaha does stay pretty tight-lipped about that sort of stuff, but in any case, this is very close to a C3. This one we got from our partners in Japan, and what's really cool about this one is they have refinished the whole piano. They buffed out all the brass. They went through and they put brand new strings, tuning pins, dampers, felts. They refinished the soundboard, they repainted the plate, they buffed out all of the mounting hardware and stuff. So this thing, just looking at it, if you didn't know any better, I mean, this looks to be a brand new piano. So they put quite a bit more life left in this thing. So this has another 50 years in it or so before it needs another overhaul. And since it's a G3 and not a C3, it's $2,000 cheaper than the other C3s that we have in here. So this is a really great buy for someone looking for a 6'1" Yamaha. And right next to it is another C3. This is one that we got locally. We purchased from the original owner. We did all the refurb in-house. So we went through and we buffed out all the finish, the hardware. We did a really extensive cleaning and detailing of the inside. So it looks, pretty close to new in there as well. There was very little playtime on this one, and I know that by looking at the hammers. It didn't look like they had ever been shaped before, and there was very little string grooves to be found in the hammers. So we went through and resurfaced those guys, regulated the action, shaped the hammers, did a bunch of keyboard work. Yeah, this thing's like pretty near immaculate right now. Something that's kind of like a small thing but really cool. You can kind of see some open grain in the keys here, so that they're real ebonized wood. So I think they're probably rosewood with a dark stain on there. And so I actually just did that when I ordered keys for our Steinway over here. If I had to charge retail for those sharps there, those ebonized wood, it would be like $1,800. So that's a really expensive touch. Yamaha does not do that anymore, or they stopped doing it for a long time. They might do it on the new X series. I'd have to double check. But anyway, that's kind of like a little thing, but it's I don't know. It makes a big difference. I think it feels really nice. It looks great. This piano that's all taken apart right here. This is a 5'10" Schimmel. This is part of their, I think it was called the Diamond series. It was a special edition they were doing for a while. You can see that the wood is very ornate. This is a Babinga finish. We got this from the original owner. And this one is one of those pianos that are in process right now. So we're working on our clean and detail of the inside. Tomorrow I'm going to be shaping the hammers, regulating the action, and doing a little bit more finish work. And this one should be available pretty soon. So this thing, it's hard for me to recommend pianos over Yamaha a lot of the time. Schimmel's one of those pianos, though. I mean, they are really a cut above the German-made stuff. So if you're looking for a Schimmel, this could be an excellent choice. And then we have our restored 1940 or 1941? 1941 Steinway Model S. Totally refinished, brand new strings, like everything that Yamaha got over there, this piano has got, as well as a brand new action on the inside as well. So we used the Steinway, German Steinway parts on the inside. So it's all Renner, not American Steinway. The parts are a little bit nicer. And this one, as I was saying, has those ebonized key tops on here for the sharps. I could have ordered the lesser expensive ones, and that's usually how people go. But this was a really nice piano. I wanted it to have a really nice keyboard, and it shows. So I'm glad that we went that direction. We got a few more back here. All three of these were refurbished or restored in Japan. This is a refurbished model, Yamaha C3. You can see that the finish is perfect. Inside looks near new. It's got its original action that's in really, really good shape, actually. This is one of the nicer actions we've had here in a while. This one's a little bit brighter, but not in a way where it's like tinny and percussive. It's more just really clear. The kind of good news behind that is we can kind of, I like to under-promise and over-deliver when we talk about voicing, but with this one being a little bit brighter, we can bring it down a little bit, make it a little bit more mellow, so we can kind of voice to suit on this one. It's hard to bring hammers to be brighter than it is to kind of bring them down a little bit. So this is a little bit more of an ideal scenario for voicing. Right next to it is more of a restored Yamaha C3. And so when I say refurbish and restored, refurbishing to me is taking what's there and making it as nice as possible. Restoration is usually when we're going through and replacing a bunch of parts. So in Hamamatsu City, where Yamaha is located, is where our partners are that do the refurbishing for us and the restoration. This is more of a restoration. So it's the new tuning pins, bushings, painted plate, refinished soundboard, new strings, all that stuff. So this has had a pretty major overhaul, and it's going to be nice for a really long time. And then finally, I think it's the last grand piano we're going to look at right now. We got one more after this, but this is a Kawai GS30. So the GS series for Kawai was kind of like the C series for Yamaha. This was the upper echelon of pianos that they offered. This one is a 1989, I believe. This is a refurbished model, so they just kind of went through and they cleaned it and detailed it and did some refinishing and things like that to make it look, sound, and play as nice as possible. This one's really nice. This one's really, really, really nice. I mean, it almost looks more like a restoration than it does a refurbish. I mean, it's really pretty perfect. So Kawai pianos, a lot of times people think that they'll say that they're a little bit more mellow than Yamaha pianos. The Yamahas over here have been, aside from the one that I said was a little bit brighter, but the Yamahas that we have in here right now are a little bit more evenly toned than bright, I would say. But if you're looking for like a really nice classical or jazz piano, I think this one would be awesome. And then our last grand we have in here, we are now Washington's Mason and Hamlin dealer. This is the last grand that I have in here right now. This is a 170G. It is 5'7", brand new. This is Mason and Hamlin's collaboration with Pearl River, who also makes pianos for Steinway under their Essex line. So this is a Mason and Hamlin designed piano and then made to spec for them by Pearl River. This is one of our favorites in the shop right now as well. So we have more of these on order, but this is the last one we have in the shop at the moment. So, all right, those are all the grands for the moment. Let's see about some uprights. All right, and the battery definitely did not die. This was a very natural transition over to looking at upright pianos. This is our Steinway that we just got in. This is an antique upright, it's full-size upright, sometimes it's referred to. And so I have a few of these right now. They're kind of pianos that I've taken in, with the plans to restore one day. They're kind of on the back burner. This isn't particularly rare. I mean, this is a really cool piano, but these are out there. I mean, there used to be a lot fewer choices for pianos back in the day. And when I say back in the day, 100 years ago, and Steinways used to be much more affordable to the average American family. So these are around, but it's really, really expensive to have these restored. So to have the piano restrung and refinished and new action and all that stuff, I mean, it's tens of thousands of dollars to have all that work done. So although this piano maybe isn't super rare, what is rare is the family that we got this piano from and put all that money into having the cabinet refinished and the insides totally restored. So it's got newer strings, hammers, whip-ins, keyboard felts, all that stuff. So the finish has a few scratches on it right now, but what's cool about this finish is it's a thick lacquer, so it's kind of serviceable. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna rub all those scratches out, and the finish is gonna look brand new when we're done with it. So this is a really great opportunity for someone who wants an antique Steinway that actually sounds good and plays well. So this one, again, is in process, may or may not be on our website. If you want any more info about this one, please just give me a call. We have two Yamaha U1 disc claviers over here. So these are pianos like the C3 that we started with that will play themselves. We've upgraded both of these pianos to play wirelessly from your phone. So these are gonna function in the exact same way. What's different about this one is it has a silent system built in as well. So you push down the middle pedal and then you hit the keys, and it's not projecting any tone from the piano. You hear a little bit of the action making noise, but that's it. Put these headphones on and it's like you're playing a keyboard. So this is really great for practicing and recording and things like that. So this is actually, even if you're not going to use like the player function of the piano, having all that MIDI data to be able to extract from the piano as you're playing it and playing it silently, there's a lot you can do with this. I mean, this is a very, very useful tool. So we got our uprights right here. What else do we have? Oh, we have another really cool Steinway we just got in actually. We have this Model 100 right here. So I think this is like a 43 or 45 inch piano. Let's see, it says 40, huh? Looks taller than that. Anyway, we got this piano from the, not the original owner, but from the original family. So kind of, there's like this decal over here, it says Sherman Clay. So they got this piano from Sherman Clay downtown back in the 1950s. The 1950s were a really cool era for design in general. They're kind of coming out of that Deco era and kind of into mid-century design. And so Although this piano might not, play like a modern Steinway upright, I think they only make one model now, which is their K52. So like, big, tall monster piano, kind of like that full size we were just looking at. It's not going to have that same tone, but it plays really nice. It sounds like a 1950s piano. So this is, I don't know if it's necessarily a statement piece, but this is something that would look absolutely killer in the right living room. So this is one of my favorites in the shop right now as far as our uprights go. We have a few brand new pianos. This Hallett Davis is a brand new piano, 10-year warranty from the factory, as well as this Mason & Hamlin right next to it. This Mason & Hamlin, both of these are, the cool thing about both of these pianos is they're pretty mellow in tone. A lot of newer pianos kind of have like a brighter tone out of the box a lot of the time. These have really nice hammers on them. I think these are American Mason & Hamlin hammers on this one, and I think this one has German hammers on it. So they don't have those Chinese hammers that are really bright a lot of the time. So both two really good sounding pianos, and then we have an American-made Mason & Hamlin that we put a lot of work into. So we did a ton of finish work on this. This one we also replaced the hammers. So on the inside it has brand new German Obel hammers. We're still doing a little bit of voicing on here, but yeah, looking on the inside, see those hammers are all brand new. The strings are in great condition. The keyboard and the cabinet and everything is in really great shape. And so what Mason is really well known for, outside of just having really great tone, they build their pianos to this day like tanks. I mean, they're overbuilt. So you look behind this thing, you come on around here, there's this like steel bar in the back right here, and this is called a tension resonator. So this holds the tension of the soundboard to keep its arc, even if the soundboard cracks. This piano has a totally intact soundboard. Nothing's cracked on it, but it has its perfect arc still. And I think that's, for Mason & Hamlin, that's due to this tension resonator right here. So a really cool design, very much proprietary to Mason & Hamlin. You won't see that on any other piano. All right, so that's this side. What else do we have? We have a really nice satin black Kawai. It's a 44-inch. That's a newer piano too. I think it's from 2000, 2001. Our Schultz Pullman. This is not a super well-known piano here in the States, but in Italy, this is a really well-known piano. And so this is also done as a collaboration with Pearl River. So Schultz Pullman had Pearl River build a portion of the piano, send it to Italy, and then in Italy they built the case, and then they did the rest of the finishing and like the action regulation and all that stuff in the Schultz Pullman factory in Italy. And they've got this really beautiful peacock mahogany in the front there, and kind of like that charcoal stain. So this is a very impressive looking piano, plays great, sounds really nice. And then we have some U3s. We just got all these in from Japan. I've got one sold, but we have this guy available right here. This is a late 80s model. This one, yeah, check that. That thing's super clean, like the restored grands that we get from them. This is a YUX, so this is actually an upgraded Yamaha U3. There's not a lot of these around in the States. I'm not sure if this was a Japanese domestic only model or not, but you don't see them around too often. So cabinet's a little bit different. All the parts have been upgraded. This is going to be a really, really nice piano. We have a little bit of work to do on this one, actually. When it came in, the bass isn't as present as I wanted it to be. There's nothing wrong with the bass strings, but they have aged a little bit. And some pianos, doesn't really affect the tone very much, and this one, unfortunately, it did. So we're going to do what I think is the right thing, and we're going to replace all of those bass strings in there. So this is going to have a really booming bass. The treble already sounds awesome. The soundboard's in perfect condition. The action's in really nice shape. So this is sort of a work in progress, but it's going to be a really nice piece when we're done with it. Another late 1980s, early 1990s U3 on the other side. The Yamaha U3 is, I think, like our most requested piano. When people call in and they're asking about inventory and they're talking about uprights, a lot of time it's the Yamaha U3, and for good reason. I mean, this is a professional upright piano. You see these a lot in recording studios, and like if there's a music school with any sort of budget, which is not always the case, and they have nice pianos in their practice rooms and in their studios and stuff, the Yamaha U3 is usually what's taking that place. And then finally, Over here, these 4 wood grain pianos, these are all awesome beginner pianos. I've had a few of these for a while, and kind of like that Baldwin over there, you know, Everett, very reputable manufacturer, just no longer in production. Same with this Chickering on this side. I mean, these guys were always kind of head to head with Mason and Steinway. And then we have a really nice Yamaha over here. Actually, this is a nice taller Yamaha console right here. I think this one's early 80s, late 70s. You know, so the cabinet kind of reflects that, but it's in really awesome shape. We actually just got this back in on trade. We did a full refurb on it. Family bought it a couple years ago, traded it back, and just got a grand piano here like about a week or 2 ago. And then finally, this Young Chang, really cool cabinet. We've done a ton of work to this. It's got brand new Japanese hammers on the inside of it. So you can see in there that those hammers look brand new because they are. What else have we done? We've done a ton of cabinet work and then just our full refurb of the inside. So it's all playing at spec. It sounds really nice and it's playing nicely. So kind of similarly to the Baldwin back there where I'm like, all right, I've had this for a while. You know, I'm gonna kind of discount the price pretty heavily. I'm gonna do the same for these. I'm not sure exactly where the pricing is gonna end up, but you know, for example, this Everett right here, just kind of, I don't know, I'll commit to this on the website when I'm pricing things, but I've had this one for $21.95 that I think is like a totally great deal for this one. I would do this piano for like $1,700 I think would be a steal on this thing. We've put a lot of work into it, and we'll have similar price breaks on the other 3 right here. So I think that's it. There's a few other kind of stragglers around that'll be available soon, and we can talk a little bit more about. They're just a little bit further out than the other pianos that we have in process at the moment. They're not all totally playable, but thanks for watching this video. This was a long one, but we do have a ton of inventory right now. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, feel free to call or email. I'm Aaron, I'm the owner of this shop. If you call or email, it always just goes directly to me. So let me know if you have any questions, book an appointment with us online, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.